Hello, welcome to another React with Lost in the Pond. British thunderstorms ain't got nothing on America. Let's find out why.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover
Hi,
all
Lawrence.
of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond.
You always
And
have
one of
such
those
colourful
memos
glasses.
pertains to storms. So I was about to leave the house and take my puppy for a walk when I looked at the weather reports. Apparently, at the time of filming, Mother Earth is angry with Chicago and the rest of the...
Did you? Oh dear God, what have I done?
Apparently, at the time
Did you really go to walk your dog, realize there was bad weather, and go, oh, I could make a video on this, and then you did? How often do you upload? 1 month, 4 weeks, 2 weeks? Bro, he's uploading every 2 weeks, and one of his ideas just came to him like right there. He's like, I gotta do it.
filming, Mother Earth is angry with Chicago and the rest of the Midwest because she's sending us some very unpredictable weather over the course of the next few hours. But I'm an optimist. I'm somebody who likes to turn a negative into a positive. So since we've got this stormy weather coming our way anyway, why not make a video called British Storms Ain't Got Nothing on America?
You even have the title
locked
locked down,
a few
man.
minutes before the storm is projected to hit us, so I'm going to take the puppy for a quick walk and I'll be back in just a moment. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that now.
Wow.
Well, Arthur, I
That's
think
funny.
the weather reports must be wrong. It's really dry out here. Where are you going? Oh, Arthur, you know I haven't run since the camel incident of 1998. Keep
The what?
going then, Arthur. Keep going. Thunder's coming. The rain's coming. We've got to get home. Good doggy. During my time living here, one thing that's really stood
was a
out
heck
to
of a
me
sequence.
about Midwestern storms is that in the hours and even minutes leading up to them, there's often no hint of a storm at all. Things can be entirely placid, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mother Nature lets out one huge wind gust.
Ah, so much bass.
And as that wind blows the leaves around like ants in a tumble dryer, there's something else that accompanies it. Really ominous clouds that look like they're going to devour the motorway. And I'm often told that when clouds have those little pointy bits hanging off them, you've got to be a little bit careful because that could be the precursor to a tornado.
So, like, when I was in New York City, whenever there was weather, it would completely obscure the sky, no matter what the weather was. Is it a sunny day? Then there is, like, no clouds. Is it a cloudy day? Well, there's all clouds. Is it going to rain? Well, you can't see shit in the sky now. Where I moved now, it's like there's just this one big storm cloud and it's hell underneath. You could see it from miles away, dozens of miles away. You could see this one cloud shitting down rain on your house while you're in town, and you're just like, oh, well, it'll be gone by the time I get there. I mean, you can be in your house, this one cloud can go over the house, and then it'll just rain like crazy, crazy winds. You think this is going to be the storm of the century, and it's done in 5 minutes. Mother Nature's a weird person, you know?
So far, we've got nothing like that on the horizon today, even though much of the Midwest has experienced that recently, and now that I think about it, it could happen. But thunderstorms, that's what we're here for. Let's see how it's getting on.
Woo!
Amazingly, amid all of this rumbling that's going on, my animals have been handling it quite well. I was never really concerned about my cat, who's experienced this many times during the 13 years he's been on this planet. Thankfully, unlike some cats, he's not under the misapprehension that he's hearing a giant vacuum cleaner, and just looks at the storm with the scorn that it deserves. And Arthur, a little puppy, experiencing his first ever thunderstorm, at least on my watch. And mostly, in terms of the thunderstorm, he's fine. He spent most of it chewing on his toy because he's going through some dental pains like all puppies do at this age, poor little bugger. By far and away, the southern United States sees more thunderstorms than anywhere else in the
I
nation.
love how he just like delivered that in such a way as if it was completely relevant to the topic of the video and what is being covered. Like, Just the way he delivered it, it's just like any other point in the video.
With Fort Myers, Florida, recording an average of 89 thunderstorms per year. Mental. But I've just learned that one of the most devastating thunderstorm complexes occurred here in the Midwest. Back in 2012, when I was still living in central Indiana, a fast-moving derecho emerged in Iowa before sweeping its way through Illinois and then clear to the Atlantic coast. On its path of destruction, it claimed the lives of 22 people and brought damages of $2.9 billion. And having experienced the derecho of 2020, I'm familiar with how such storms often coincide with the hot temperatures of summer. But they're not uncommon here in early spring, as the thermometer flirts with the 60s, the temperature, not the decade. Anyway, I think you're going to want to see this, because in the last few minutes there's been a development. Yeah, it is still coming down. Yeah, that is the craziest looking hail.
Did he really... He went to go take his dog for a walk. He's like, this whole day we're just going to be making this video all day.
All I have ever seen in my life.
Like, the video would have been 3 minutes long if he didn't just, in the middle of the day, go, wait, we got to talk about this hail. I just got to wonder what else he was doing with his day, like, around all of this, because it's only, like, less than an 8-minute long video.
Get anything like this in the UK?
How's the car looking?
It's mostly good. That is a piece of hail that I just picked up from the ground outside. It is definitely the biggest piece of hail I've ever had in my hand. And I have to drop it now because it's melting. America is no stranger to large pieces of hail that hail from America. In fact, by comparison, some pieces make the segment that I held in my hand look like a fairy fly, albeit a frozen one. You see, I read today that in 2010...
You know, Americans are obsessed with ice. Like, where do you think we get the ice from? It just falls out of the sky, like, right into your drink. Think we make that shit? That's too expensive.
And a piece of hail measuring almost 8 inches in diameter came down in Vivian, South Dakota. It remains the largest hailstone ever recorded.
He's making these cuts, like, real sudden. I'm glad sometimes when I edit, I make some really lazy cuts because I edit so many videos. You know, I'm releasing a video a day. And so I just make some lazy cuts, especially because I edit via audio, not video. It's so nice to see someone with almost 1 million subscribers doing the same thing. It's so nice. Cut.
Recorded in the history of Earth's history. The second largest was found in Nebraska some 7 years earlier, proving once again that everything is bigger in the United States, except Q's, but that's irrelevant. But in my neck of the woods, the hail lasted all of 60 seconds. And just like that, as was the case before the storm started, everything is now placid. The storm has stopped, which is good news for Arthur because
the hail lasted 60 seconds, and you made a 60-second segment out of it. Good job, man.
Because we can now take him on that longer walk, and I've just realised he's going to run through all of the sloshy mud. All right, Tara, are you ready? It turns out neither of us were ready for what happened next. Ominous. Do you think that's the end of the world, or just the coming of a tornado? Probably neither. Probably just testing it. Probably go and find out.
They're probably just testing it. You know, it's funny with a tornado warning. It really is. Like, that was great. That was probably my funniest moment ever of every video of his I've ever seen so far. But it's funnier to me because I lived in New York, right? And there's this great thing in New York called Indian Point, I believe. It's a nuclear plant. And when I was in New York City, I didn't really hear the sirens when they tested it, even though it was closer to New York City than when I lived just outside of it. But when I lived just outside of it, I'm now at the radius of where if this shit decides to go haywire, I will not die immediately. I will die a slow, painful death. And to make it even better, the evacuation route goes towards Indian Point. And they would test the sirens, you know, like yearly. And I would never know if they're testing it or not. It would just, you'd start hearing the nuclear plant's sirens randomly. And it's just like, huh. Well, they're probably just testing it. And if they're not, then I'm dead. Guaranteed. Nothing I can do about it. That is either me hearing myself die, or they're just testing it. So I just usually assumed they were just testing it because, I mean, if I was gonna die, what would I do? I wanted to continue my day.
This was no test.
Usually playing DayZ mod at the time. This was literally like over a decade ago.
Just when we thought it was safe to go back into the water, an even bigger shark was emerging from the deep. The Chicagoland area was under a tornado warning. And to be clear, the shark bit was a metaphor, I hope.
Hey, I know you like looking at the wind, Kafka, but we've got to go.
So, currently in the Pittsburgh potty, I have toilet roll for no real reason. We decided, since it's only a few minutes, this tornado warning that's in effect, we wouldn't bring down the whole crate, we just bring him down on a leash and let him roam a little bit. Kafka doesn't have that luxury, because if he did, he would tear Arthur to pieces, not literally, but they do tend to fight. So yeah, we are just seeing it out. It's supposed to only last about 12 minutes or something like that. And that's...
This video would be so much shorter if he wasn't just basically vlogging his day. This is a hilarious video. I love this.
pretty normal. I mean, these tornado warnings don't last long.
It's like a documentary, you know? But it's just a guy that decided, I'm gonna make a video out of today, and then it just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled and gave him more to talk about. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the next part is someone broke into his house while he was in the bathroom and his TV is missing.
The weather systems move pretty fast. Kafka's trying to escape as we speak. You want any words for your audience? I know, I hate putting you in here, but, you know, gotta take these precautions. And, I'm tired. Among the world's countries, the United States in particular is synonymous with tornadoes. In fact, of the 67 tornadoes powerful enough in history to have been classed as an F5, 59 were recorded in the US, and that number is even higher if you account for Brock Lesnar. And in 1925, one of those F5s became the deadliest in US history when it ripped through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana along the longest tornado path ever recorded. In total, this one tornado claimed the lives of almost 700 people, the vast majority of them right here in Illinois. Well, after all that, according to the radar, it really is all over now. So, Arthur, you've earned a trip to the dog park. And I'll be honest with you, it's completely and utterly...
And it's still bright out. It's still bright out when he's recording it, like in front of the door. And it's still bright out if this is from the same day.
A little bit not surprising that Arthur wasn't scared of the thunder, because he's not even afraid of the big dogs, and I have to admit, he played with them in a manner that was admirable and disgusting. There was a lot of cleanup after that.
You know what else is synonymous with America? Dogs.
Well, after all that drama, that's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever experienced a storm quite like this one. I'm Lawrence Brown. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to subscribe.
I don't know
to this channel
how
so
much of that was live.
And a big thank you to my patrons who...
I don't know how much of that was actually live or him just improvising after the fact with some B-roll footage, but that was hilarious. I loved that video. That was my favorite video of his so far. Very entertaining. Hopefully you were entertained as well. And if you were, and you want to be more entertained, feel free to leave any suggestions for reaction videos in the comments below. If you want to leave a link, go into the Discord in the description below, because YouTube will eat the links. But for today, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.